Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to be covering into how I was able to close over $1,000 profit in my same PropFirm account that I've had for almost a year now, since I did have it all the way since last year, November. So we're getting close to a year, and we are going to be covering all the trade breakdowns on how I did take them, my entry model that I use, how did I find my context, how did I find my location. You will find everything in this video. Now, I want you guys to be staying until the end because there is something in the middle of this video where I'll be sharing you guys my secret model that I use to find very good entry confirmation. So let's get right into it. So now we are going to be covering the very first trade first, and you guys can take a look over here. We're already up $1,000. This was Friday. Okay, this is going to be Friday's price action, and these are only going to be the trades that I took for Friday. So let's break it down simply. How did I take this buy and why did I take this buy right here? And yes, I could have held it much further to make more profits, but as a trader, you have to be playing based on probabilities because you don't get this type of moves every single time. Now, jumping in the charts over here, what did I really do before I start? Well, it's very simple. What I simply did is I wanted to understand how the higher time frame context looking. Well, mainly when I was looking to this, we're simply accumulating, right? We're accumulating and we have a beautiful distribution again. The market pulled back and created another distribution right here, like a potential push to the upside. Now, I want you guys to understand what we see over here. We got ourselves relative equal highs. And when there's equal highs in the market, that technically shows us that there are a lot of liquidities that are waiting in this level. That means there's a lot of sellers that are waiting over here with their stop losses above that high when they're trying to short. So if you're able to identify where the sellers are waiting, then that is pretty much going to be your key location where you can have your target. So this is my first buy side liquidity target. Now, let's take a look to the higher time frame to have a much better understanding with what the price is doing. So right here, I want you guys to understand that one of the secrets is going to be understanding your psychological number. So we have a very big psychological number for gold, which is 4,000. And you can see that in the daily, yes, we did close under 4K in the daily. So that means there's bearish movement, but I was waiting for the weekly candle to close, because if weekly candle close below 4,000, this gives us a very good, clear confirmation that the market is going to keep going further to the downside. But we kind of did close above in the daily, but the weekly we didn't. So when I told myself that, and I saw how important 4,000 is as a psychological number, because you can actually take a look how many times the market was bouncing every time it comes to this level. You see this bounce right here. So it is a very important key level. So now we're bouncing from 1,000, and most likely my target is going to be this buy side liquidity. It's pretty much all the way up here because we're currently delivering from a higher time frame PD array, which is this higher time frame fair value gap. So the moment that I was able to identify, the moment I was able to see all that, it allowed me to start going to the lower time frame to have a much better understanding on what I should be doing for my entry, right? Now, let's take a look into what pretty much happened over here. Now, I did not take a trade yet because my game plan for this specific moment was waiting for some type of accumulation, and I was waiting for a liquidity sweep right here. So from here, we can see we took out Asia high liquidity, and now we are currently accumulating, distributing, accumulating, and distributing, right? I was kind of waiting for that manipulation further. Now, looking into this, what do we have, guys? Come on, what do we have? Looking at the H1, we have a higher time frame gap. I believe there was an M30 gap over here. Yep. We have an M30 fair value gap, right? Let's call it an M30 gap. When we had this M30 gap, what do we have? We have equal lows. We do have liquidity lows right here. The moment I saw this liquidity low, I told myself, the moment that the market taps to this level, I want to be seeing some type of market inversion. So when I saw this, I told myself, let's take a look to the 4 minutes time frame if we can get a beautiful entry over here. So once I got that, I plot again my fair value gap. They got invalidated. I took my long position here, stop loss below, and my take profit. Where's my take profit? Why did I target here? Well, here is one of the secrets. Looking to this, I already knew that this was the low price at high. I plotted my Fibonacci retracement between those two specific levels, and I was waiting for a pullback within the 61.8. Okay, now you can pretty much have a push, something like this, because we're within this 38.20, but I was looking at this specific pullback level. Now, my main take profit was pretty much over here for what's this 2.93 RR. Well, you can see I took my earlier exit slightly around, what's this, 4045. So at 4045, that's when I took my main exit, which is exactly right here, 4045. So by the time I took my first initial entry, I was able to hit break even on one of my first few trades. So what happened here when I first took my first entry right here, the moment we're pumping now, I took another second re-entry. So when we had the second re-entry, the market was pumping, and you can see that the market came all the way back down to my entry, and I got hit on break even on one of my entries. So I had two entries here, 1 and 2. So I closed my second trade for a break even, and I was still holding the other one. Now you can actually take a look, which is kind of funny, is that right when it closed this, I was given another confirmation and I took my buy. So right when I had another 1 minute confirmation here, like this, I took another buy right here, same stops, targeting the same level, and you can see how beautiful that market delivery is actually looking at, with a beautiful spike of price. You can see this massive spike of price is forming like a triangle now, but kind of weird, but kind of funny. So that was my one of the very first trade, and this is a beautiful 2.88 RR setup. Now, before we're going to be jumping onto the next one, I'm actually hosting a free trading weekly webinar every single week in my free Discord. And if you want to check that out, press the link down below and I'll see you guys inside. And yes, you can actually take a look over here. We have over 184 members that are potentially interested to watch this live weekly webinar. So if you want to check that out, then make sure you guys join. This is obviously one of the very first trades for gold. Now, lucky for you guys is that that's not the only trade I have. I have more trades right here. So right when New York opens, a little bit later on right here, how did I pretty much catch this entry? Well, it's very simple, okay? Now, when the market created this accumulation, we created this manipulation, and then we distributed above, I had another H1 gap that I was looking at. So I call this like an H1 gap. And from here, you can actually take a look that the next level, potentially gold can have a rejection, is from this supply level, or we have this fair value gap, right? We have this fair value gap all the way right here. Now, when I saw that, I wanted to tell myself that if the market really wanted to go to the upside, I need to find my liquidity points. And I was able to find this relative equal highs. I saw this equal high, I saw this liquidity low, and I told myself, the moment that we inverse or we sweep this liquidity low is the moment I want to take my entry right here. So I waited for New York. Once we have this very obvious massive sweep, guys, let's be real. Let's see the difference between this sweep and this sweep. Look at how big this sweep is. This one swept and it went up. Look at this massive candle sweep. So a lot of sellers were trying to push, but the candle closed here, and then the candle closed green in the next candle. That allowed to tell me that there's a lot of sellers inside this level, and they got absorbed, right? The sellers was not rewarded with what they're trying to achieve. So the moment I saw that, I was just simply waiting for a shift of market structure or a change of trend or whatever. Let's take a look over here. You can see right when I saw this breakout anticipation, I immediately took my entry around this level right here. Took my long, stop same below right here. My take profit, relative equal highs. But the beauty of this, take a look, you can see, took my buy right here. I took an exit exactly on that high. So right when I had this buy right here, stops below, and my take profit was, what's this? 40.60. Okay, that was my take profit, 40.60 right here. You can see it's pretty much in between negative 27.20% and this high. And if you guys want to be knowing my full trading strategy about Fibonacci retracement, make sure you guys press this video right here. It's gonna pop up, and that is my whole trading strategy video about Fibonacci retracement. So looking forward with this allowed me to have an idea to take my entry, and let's take a look. Okay, when the market was pushing up, it was very, very funny, and I'm not even joking, because right when we push right here, okay, right when the market pushed like this, the market did pull back a little bit, and I got scared. I'm like, bro, the market pulling back, am I cooked or whatever, right? But I was still optimistic about my take profit, 40.60. And right when 40.60 hit, I took all my profits out, and look at what happened. If I went on break even and ended up being greedy, I would have gotten out on break even. And this was still a beautiful and lovely trade. You can see that we took the setup within the Fibonacci settings, and it was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Then again, if you want to be joining the full live trading weekly webinar, make sure you guys join the free Discord. Link's gonna be in the description down below. Comment down below what type of videos you guys want to see next. Make sure you guys press the like button, the subscribe button. I'll be seeing you guys next time. JCAC Trades out.